What's good, everyone? Show him the money. Damian Lillard is securing the bag, and he is going to be in Rip City for the prime of his career. Lillard and the Blazers agreeing to a 4-year contract extension worth $196 million. This was first reported by The Athletic. Lillard still had 2 years left on his previous deal. That means he'll be in a Blazers uniform until the 2024-2025 season. Lillard is 28 years old right now. According to Bobby Marks, Lillard will make more than $50 million in year 3 of this extension, becoming the first player in NBA history to make that much in a season. In combined salary, Damian Lillard will make $250 million with a B. Lillard is fresh off arguably his best all-around season as a pro. He is one of just 4 players to average 25 points and 5 assists per game over the past 4 seasons. The Blazers' biggest free agent, Enes Kanter. He's still out there, and he's given us the phone emoji. What does it mean, man? Well, Mark J. Spears at ESPN is reporting that Kanter is expected to have phone calls with the Blazers and the Boston Celtics. Multiple reports said he was drawing interest from other teams as well. So Rip City, they're saying there's a chance. Rip City is losing one of its starters, though. Al-Farouq Aminu is heading to the Orlando Magic. ESPN reporting it's a 3-year deal worth about $29 million. Aminu played 4 seasons with the Blazers. He averaged close to 10 points and 7 rebounds per game. Chief suited up for 293 games with Portland and started 255 of them. He was considered one of the Blazers' best defensive players who could guard multiple positions. On the flip side, forward Rodney Hood is coming back to Portland. Jason Quick with The Athletic says it's a 2-year deal. He'll make $5.7 million this upcoming season, and there's a player option to make $6 million the following year. This is a big signing for Portland at that price. Hood was expected to command more on the market. Portland's wing position will have much more depth with Hood in the rotation. The biggest chip to fall during free agency, that man right there, Kevin Durant, leaving the Golden State Warriors to join forces with Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. Much more free agency to talk tonight on Sports Sunday. The Portland Timbers back at home at Providence Park, 8 o'clock kickoff against FC Dallas. We'll have highlights of that coming up at 11 o'clock right here on KGW. That's a look at sports. We'll be right back.